Okay, so today I'm working on trying to get the steering shaft hooked up to the power steering box, and so far what I've done is I cut the end of the original shaft here, cut that off. That extra piece I had with the kit that I bought for the power steering adapter, I cut the end off of that too, just because it's got a squared off end to adapt to what would be the original steering shaft off of the 73. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to slip this piece over the original steering shaft, and hopefully that'll mate right up to the steering box. And then I'll weld around the end, and hopefully maybe even throw a bolt through the shaft so it makes it a little stronger. And then if that works, great. All right, let's get to it. So I'm going to throw a little flap disc on here and see if I can scrape some paint off of the shaft there. And hopefully that new piece will fit right over. And just slide right on it. So let's see here. Ooh, perfect. Oh, look at that. Nice fit. So it looks like that's going to work. Now, as long as I make sure I'm all lined up straight, I can always do some adjustments later, but I think if I'm pretty straight here, I can weld this up, tack this on, tack it, double check it, maybe tighten this down to make sure it's all not going to bind anywhere. And I think that's going to work out really good actually. So let me make sure my steering wheel's straight, and then we'll break out the old welder. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to make sure it's all the way, the steering wheel's all the way in. It's actually looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and tack it right there. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm gonna tighten that piece down. On the rag joint, just so that I know it's all tight and gonna fit right. As you can see, it actually went really smooth, really easy. Not difficult at all. Pretty simple. And it fits. So I like it to be quick and easy. That's the way I did it. And once I get this all tacked up, then I'm going to try to throw the power steering reservoir on and get my lines installed so I can make sure that's all going to fit. Alright, so that's looking good. Double check my steering wheel. right about there. And I'm gonna go ahead and tack it on. Okay, there, now it can't move on me. And I'll burn it in fully here in a little bit, but at least now I know it's all set and it's gonna work, which is awesome. And if I get this over here, the reservoir kind of set in place. I got the lines here from the 73, which are really in good shape yet. Just to make sure it's all gonna fit and it's all gonna slip in there real nice. Oh, look at that. I got to take the piece out of the back here yet. Okay. So if I go like this, it should go right in here. And it does. I'm not going to tighten it all down yet because I'd like to repaint this reservoir. It's a little nasty looking. This will go right in here. And alright, let's see. Actually, looks like I gotta okay, it's gonna be a little bugger. Oh, I got some figuring to do here. How's that going to sit? That needs to be down right there. I think this is right. So this will be right there, and I might need to bend that a little bit to make it so that it doesn't kink this hose, but that is going to work out perfect. And that's exactly how it's going to go. Then I'll just be able to bolt that right up there. Power steering's all run, and I'll be able to steer this beast. So I'm going to go ahead and take this back off. Like I said, I'm going to paint that. It's a little rusty, but you know, that's a pretty easy, simple way to do this if you're doing the same thing I am. And then you got power steering. Okay, so here's my 73 brake booster. I'm going to try to modify it to fit the 66. Obviously these two holes line up, and then I'm going to be having a hole, I think it's going to be right about here-ish, and then right here I'm going to try to cut the angles off so it fits the firewall flush and a little bit better. And then also I'm going to be adapting the pedal rod here a little bit. So I'm going to do some fab work and we'll show you how it works. Okay, so I did the fab work on the brake booster here, and I'm just going to show you guys kind of what I came up with. You can see here what I did was I cut that piece out and straight and just kind of flattened off the corner, and then welded it back on both sides, and drilled the holes where they need to be to mount onto the firewall of the 66. Also, you can see the rod here. I took a measurement off of the 66, and then basically right where it would reach the firewall, and then I cut each rod right where that would match the length of the old one, welded that back on, and basically now all I need to do is kind of clean things up a little bit, make it look a little better, and I should be able to bolt it right on and then throw it in the truck, and then put the actual master cylinder on there, and hopefully we can find out if it all works out. So I'll show you when I'm putting it on. Okay, so I got the brake booster kind of cleaned up here, painted up, and let's see if we can get this thing installed onto the firewall. I'm not 100% sure all the holes are going to line up yet. Well, I know they'll line up. I just might need to make one or two of them a little bit bigger. But let's see here. Okay, the two center bolts are in, and then let's try for these other quarter bolts here. That one there might be a little bit of a bugger. Yeah, I might need to widen that hole just a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and take it back off a second. Do one small little adjustment to that hole. And throw it right back on. Okay. Let's see here. Alright, let's give that a whirl. Try this again. Okay. Alrighty, that one's in. Okay, let's give this another shot. seems like it's gonna fit nicer. And I think that made its way in there. Yeah, that's gonna work. Uh-oh. There we go. And try this bottom one over here. Okay. I actually have to back that off a little bit to make sure my other one on the other side will go in. Need a little more movement there. All right. Let's see here. Seems like it's going. Looks like they're all gonna make it. So that's good news. I'm gonna go ahead and get these two corner bolts in, or tight, and then I will try to do the middle ones. And if it all sits flush and good, then I can go ahead and throw the master on, and we'll be sitting pretty. Once I get it all taken down, I'll try to show you guys here. Now remember, this is a booster out of a 73 C10, and you know, I like using things that I already have, right? The brakes were really great on that truck, so I thought, why not, you know? And there really didn't have to do much to it to get it to fit this. Basically, the only thing most people have to do is buy a bracket to fit the firewall on these things, and the rest is all the same. You know, it's just a booster and a master cylinder, so it'll do the same thing any of those other ones will do. All I did was refabricate the bracket here a little bit, and this will all work perfectly with the brake system on this thing, with the discs up front, drums in the back. Let me just kind of show you here, and you can see it bolts up nicely. Both bolts in there, and look at that. The hood will clear, and then I think I should be able to just go in and it'll bolt right up to the brake pedal, since I made the length the exact same as it was before from the original master cylinder. So with that, I think I'll go ahead and throw the master on there a minute, just so we can see. And once I put the lines on from the master to the proportioning valve, I'm going to clean up this master too, by the way. It worked good, it's pretty dirty. But once I put those lines into the proportioning valve there, this thing is going to be ready to bleed. This is great. This is awesome. It doesn't hit anything. Doesn't look like it'll get in the way of anything. So there you have it. That should take care of the brake system. Then I have power brakes, power steering. You know, this thing should run like a dream. Alright, so the last little leg of the fuel system here. I'm going to try to get the fuel pump installed in the frame. And then I just have the fuel cell to put on, and that's pretty much ready to bolt in too. So let's see what we can do here. Get some wrenches, tighten those down, and then I can cut my line. Let's go to the fuel, from the fuel pump here, and the last little bit would be to throw this little filter on before the fuel pump, from the fuel cell to the pump, just to filter out any nasties. And that should be it. I'm going to see how long this needs to be and make a cut. It's going to be right there. So there you have that. And I'll readjust the camera and we'll put the fuel cell in. Okay, so I bought some flat stock to mount the fuel cell here. I didn't really want it right up against the tailgate for one, and also I wanted to mount it a little farther away from the frame so that my fuel hose here would drop down to the pump that's on the frame rail, because pretty sure that pump requires some gravity feed to it. So I'll be putting this filter right here roughly, and throw some bolts in the cell to the bracket, and we'll be well on our way to get the fuel. And I also got this 90 with a push lock for the fuel return line, and it's at 8 AN, so that'll go right on this little outlet right here, and then I can run that back from the return part of the Corvette style filter / regulator over there. So once I get that all in, everything will be plumbed for fuel.